Hey, welcome back to the Drum Rundown. We are here at the iconic Robert's Western World on Broadway in Nashville, downtown. And I'm here with Backbeat, Bill Van Vleet. What's going on, man? It's good to see you.
You too. How you doing?
Good to hang out in this context.
Dude, I like being this close to you. It's nice.
It's very, very cool. There's a lot of room up here.
Yeah, tons.
We met years ago down here because this is the first place I ever came and saw music, because that's what you do. You move to Nashville. Where do you go? Where's the best? It's Robert's.
Totally.
And I came and I saw the Don Kelley band and just mind blown away. And I think the era when I got here, this will age me, cool or not cool, was Daniel Donato.
Yeah.
So how long have you had this gig?
So I started, I think, in September of 2019.
Okay.
And it was still the Don Kelley band.
That was it.
The legend, Don Kelley. I only played with him for about 6 months, and then the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
So that obviously derailed a lot of it. But 4 years, more or less.
Yeah. All right.
For sure.
And what a weird gig, right?
Yes.
You come in and you're sitting here for 4 hours, just shredding with these guys, playing train beats all night, keeping the shuffle going.
Totally.
What's it like sitting at the gig for just 4 hours nonstop?
It definitely trains you to not go out and sprint right out of the gate, because it's like, I've got to be good at 6:30. I've also got to be good at 9:58. When we're still going, still rocking. So a lot of it's just been kind of. Stuart Copeland once said, "Great drumming should be like riding a bike downhill," and I feel like a lot of it is that. Like you're giving it everything you got, but also trying to conserve energy and not just blow yourself out right away.
Yeah.
But it's a long time, man. 4 hours is a long gig.
Yeah, and no breaks, right?
You run the tip jug like 4 times a night, but you might get a combined like 10 minutes out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just got your back out here to the street.
Yeah. Back turned to everybody.
Just bringing them in.
That's right. Stare at the ladies as they line up to come in, and it's a good deal for sure.
Cool. Well, you can see the kit and the drummer from the street. That's always been something that was like cool to me. I was like, oh, I'm going in there and that dude looks like he's having a good time. So let's talk about what you're seeing from the street, which is this house kit, the legendary house kit of Robert's Western World. What do we got? So
we got a Sonor vintage series, and it's just modeled to look like old school 60s drums. It's Beechwood, which is a little unusual. It's not maple or mahogany. It's nice and boomy. Nothing's mic'd here. So it's definitely, you want it to sing. Man. And it's one of those things, like as harsh as it might sound up here, you want it to be that way because it'll translate out there. Yeah,
well, there's just, 1,000 people in here easy at any given time.
Totally.
And I usually come in through the alleyway and I come in the back. And
smart.
It's smart. That's the Nashville way, right?
Totally.
But when you come in, like, everything sounds so great. Like, with it not being mic'd or anything, like, there's such a dynamic, like, dance happening with just, like, one amp. This backline. So how are you getting it done in terms of dynamics? Because like there's no in-ears, there's no nothing, there's no monitor. You're just kind of going.
So no monitor. Again, nothing's mic'd. I wasn't raised right, so I do a rim shot basically every time. That always helps translate. And these guys, Joe and Luke, they're such great players, and they have such a force and so much muscle in what they do and their tone. It's about just being the foundation. Just being solid, always staying on top of it, being the engine, And it doesn't take a lot. I mean, it's stripped down set, only 2 cymbals. And like I said, it's a lot of train beats, a lot of fast swing. It's a lot of, really fast shuffles and just staying on top of it.
Yeah. And you're just bringing breakables.
Yeah, just breakables.
So when you only have 2 things, big decisions on what 2 things to bring.
Yes.
What gets you to these?
So the hi-hat, Zildjian, Constantinople, great, really dry, kind of fat, great for swing. And I just wanted something that was as quiet as possible.
Okay, yeah.
Cymbals, I heard someone say on this show, cymbals ruin everything. I won't go quite that far, but whenever you hear playback, you're like, oh my God, the cymbals. So I just wanted something really dry, something tight. It's a 14. This is a Zildjian medium ride 22, and it's got a great stick contact. It crashes well too.
Right.
It just sings.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it's like I want it's kind of a big bombastic crash and ride and really dry hi-hats.
Yeah, because you need something that's a utility player.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's like you got the belt, it's going all the way, the ride is pinging all the way in the back of the room, and then the crash is nice and explosive for those dramatic moments, because there is a lot of drama in this music.
Absolutely. It's constantly.
And it's getting it done in such a cool way. So
Totally.
it's, a lot of it is just in the sticks and how you're playing it too.
Yeah, you know, having a lot of fun with kind of counterbalancing crashes and when to come down and, you know, cymbal management stuff. You can almost use the hi-hat as a crash too, or just a nice little back into a verse or something.
Yeah.
And I would love to have 7, 8, 9 cymbals, but it's like, if I can't do it with this, then I can't do it.
There's no room.
That too. Yeah,
hey, I don't even have room for one, and no one would see you.
Get lowered in by helicopter.
Yeah, you're already like behind Joe there,
yeah. Oh,
right?
totally. Yeah, I'm hidden.
So are all of those dynamic choices and kind of getting that volume right informing the stick choice? Are you changing your sticks for this gig, or are you kind of getting it done with what you like?
You know, kind of getting it done with what I like. Vic Firth, 5A classic wood tip.
Yeah.
Just your basic solid
find
stick.
them anywhere.
Exactly.
And not my weird size that you can't find anywhere.
You play the tree trunks. You got the big
X8D, which is like a 7A long.
That's like
16 and a half.
like an axe handle.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
No, these are great, and I do wood tip. Something about the wood and the cymbals and the actual head I like better than nylon.
Mm-hmm.
I used oak for years, and I started having problems with my hands. I started feeling after the long gigs with the oak, such a hard wood, it's wearing out my hands. So switched to hickory.
Yeah.
It doesn't last as long, but it's just nice and fat.
Oh,
it just gets it done.
Yeah, and dude, this snare head, and talk about it. It's my new favorite. I have it on my A snare right now, and I can't speak highly enough about this. How did you find it?
So, I was playing an acrylic snare drum.
Mine's on an acrylic.
Oh yeah,
and
I thought, this is kind of whack. It's a coated head. Like I want to be able to see the entire thing. Went with the clear P77 Remo Powerstroke, and it's just something about it. It gives it that it almost sounds like Super Mario stomping on a Koopa Troopa, and it's like that pop.
Yeah.
And this is a Sugar percussion snare. It's a 7x14 walnut.
Big boy, thick boy.
Big boy, thick boy. Shout out Jefferson at Sugar. He's the man. And walnut is a little bit strange. It's a little bit harder, not quite as, soft as maple or mahogany, and it just screams.
Wow. That's so good. That's awesome. And I have not put that head onto a wood or a metal drum yet, but I can't wait because
it's killer, man. It's a great head. You get a lot of life out of it. It's another thing too with the long gigs. You got to have thick heads that can withstand just that much beating.
Yeah. How often are you changing them out?
Not as much as I should. I'm not a purist in the sense of I don't change heads every gig. I actually kind of like the way a worn-in head feels. Something about it, I just like the way it bounces. Probably about once every 2 months.
Okay.
And that's 4 gigs a week, 4 hours a pop. So it get a lot of life out of it.
Yeah. And how long have you been seeing these guys that you don't? That you aren't the ward of?
Yeah. Remo Emperors have been the constant on these since I started here. So they're the go-to. They're great. I don't have to put moon gel on it or duct tape. It's just I let them sing.
That's nice. And obviously, with this being the house kit, you have a lot of people coming in, sitting here all day. Is there kind of like a code of honor that's happening? Is there kind of like an unspoken, or is there like a text thread hey man, you spilled beer on my tom?
No, it is the Wild West. You'll have blood on the heads. You'll have stuff is stripped, cymbal stands are thrown in the corner.
So it's a true house kit.
A true house kit. And
cool.
Unlike any other gig, it's going to be different every single time you sit behind it. Not only in the position, but also in the tuning. Someone could tune it up jazz style. You could come in and it feels like a pillow. Yeah. It's constant work and alterations every time.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it fun,
I was going to say that's the spirit of true honky tonk music, which you guys are keeping alive here at Robert's Western World.
Trying to,
Broadway.
Man. That's right. Trying to, man. Shout out to Jesse and Emily. They're great people. They own this joint and they've done a lot to preserve country music, and very grateful to them. But yeah, there's a duty, this place. There's a little sense of pressure. It's like when you get up here, you better do it. You better deliver, because people come here and they expect you know, they expect greatness. Not to say I'm giving them that, but I'm giving it all I got, and that's just part of the gig here. You know?
Yeah, well, you're certainly keeping the legacy going of Don Kelley and everything that's been built with like real honky tonk country music on Broadway.
Yeah.
Kelly's Heroes, what a cool gig.
It's the best.
And what a awesome weird rig to finally get to run down. One of my better ideas that I've ever had.
I agree.
And so good to get to sit down and hang out with you in a different way, man.
You too, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, well, we've been here with Backbeat, Bill Van Vleet. We are the Drum Rundown, and we will see you guys on the next one.